What?
Oh yeah, baby! What? Yes, please.
How is that?
Yeah, we're staying at Teba Camp. It's down at the mouth. It's pretty much the only accommodation that you're going to find down here, unless you come down for the day. But then you have to get a permit and you have to come in at 6 only and get out at 6. So you're really missing the prime time that you want to be out on the water. So staying down here at the camp is beneficial. Lots of opportunities if you enjoy throwing the big rod, sliding a live bait, or big mackerel head or anything like that for big GTs and sharks. I mean, that is the place. And lots of isolated scattered rock, especially south of the mouth. Some rock north, but it's quite a walk. And so yeah, a heck of a lot of opportunities, whether you enjoy bait fishing or whether you enjoy lure or fly fishing. It's especially popular amongst the fly fishing community. So it is a special venue and it's an absolutely gorgeous place, and if you haven't been, you definitely have to get down there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I must say, Devon, coming here for my first time, it's one of those wonders of South Africa that people should take the time to enjoy. Just getting down into this wetland and down to the end and to the mouth. It's a whole change of scenery.
Especially the fish traps. I mean, I'm sure that caught you by surprise. As you come down through the top gate, you're looking out over the estuary, and it is so unique. And one of the amazing things about the lake system is that for the most part, all those natural processes are still intact. So what I'm getting at is there hasn't been much man-made change to the catchment inland. So all those processes are still functioning and functioning well for the most part. Hence the fact that Kosi maintained, its integrity pretty well.
So yeah, coming down here, staying at Teba, it's this amazing camp here right on the estuary, and the first thing that hits you beautifully is this last estuary that leads into the ocean. And I'd imagine that you can do a lot of family friendly activities just in walking across here. I think we sighted so many species you can't count. Clownfish, pufferfish, mullet. I mean, there's so many things in here. So if you'd like to do a little bit of family-friendly snorkeling in this estuary, you definitely can. I think if you were doing a little bit of fly fishing as well on the light side, you could definitely catch a little bit of species in here as well by sight fishing. And then obviously as you head out into the mouth, you've got the channel that separates essentially the north and the south beaches.
Yeah, there's a nice big hole, just a couple of 100 meters north. And it is let's call it a known area. Guys heavily target that trough, and lots of big GTs get caught there. So it's not very far to walk. It's very close to camp. It's relatively safe to fish at night, and that is always a good plan. But the main reason we came here was to specifically do a lot of the light, slow pitch shore jigging, and it's quite a new facet. Johan was down in Mabibi and Sodwana doing the same thing, and they did fairly well. And we decided, let's go and try and do the same thing here at Kosi. And to our surprise, I mean, we did relatively well with very little experience, on this type of facet. It is rather new, and I've hardly spoken to anyone that's done this extensively. I know in Japan it's quite big, and I'm sure it's going to catch on, because what it allows you to do is throw a very compact spoon quite a long ways, and you can cover a heck of a lot of water. So multiple species eat it also. I mean, we eat several different species over the last couple of days.
Actually counted them up, but
should.
That's I think the big thing, because I've tried a few times spinning before this, essentially targeting kingfish or whatever, and mainly using bucktail or paddle tails for carp, and I've done that a lot, and it's not that successful. But using these micro jigs, we seem to be able to just catch almost anything that's swimming.
For sure.
That's
Very
the,
few
that's the
species leave it.
Andre got this bastard mullet on the Hayabusa 40 gram sardine color. First fish, so I'm hoping that's a sign of things to come. Good one. Okay.
In the bottom left.
Oops.
little mullet. Yeah. Hey boy. How cool is that? That's a new species for me. On the jig. On the jig para. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Nice, you want to say what you did?
I copied Andre. No, it's my first time throwing these micro jigs. First time ever. Seen a lot about them, heard how many different species they catch. And yeah, we just got too quick in the shore break now.
We'll go through a bit of the tackle that we used this morning. In fact, for the most part, we were throwing some slow pitch jigging spoons, that type of deal, 30-40 gram on a 10-foot, 11-foot type setup, 20-pound braid, 5,000 size reel. Chris, most of the morning, he was throwing a bucktail, but he was battling to get down with that. And yeah, so it's been relatively quiet. We haven't had any joy. It was good just to get our feet in the sand again.
Morning guys, we are in the epic Kosi Bay. We just walked out through the mangrove forest out onto the beach right by the mouth here. And we're all going to try and spin our way and cover a bit of water this morning up that way. And hopefully come into a couple of species. We're using these little slow pitch jigs and different spoons. See if we can get right. Feels good. Feels good in the morning. Come on, stay on there. You see it here?
You have to run it back out of the water. Yeah, run it back. Here we go.
Hey! Hey! Kingy! Yeah, you might hold this for me, Devon. It's my first kingy in the fish. Can I hold you without getting
Just be careful, eh? Yeah.
Whoa!
Beautiful.
He's busy having a bit of a shot at me. Oh, beautiful little fish. Into the sunrise. Very cheeky. Smoke this thing. Hey! Oh!
Beautiful little fishery.
Oh, don't slip up, don't slip up.
Pompano.
What is this 3 spot?
Yeah,
Nice.
these things.
It's gently, it's okay. Not in the real. The 3 spot.
Very nice. Well done, bro. Yeah, let it go.
Yeah! Bam!
Well done, bro. Ah, beautiful. Whew. Oh yes. Wait. Nice little kingy, you guys. Let me just do this. This is a kingy, eh? Green spot kingy. Beautiful.
As hy terugtrek dan is water mooi skoon.
Get it!
Beautiful.
Stone reef. I don't know if you tried to aid it or if you got him by accident, but he's on the board. Cheers, buddy. That was a good one. Woo! Yeah, so it's late afternoon now. Had lots of fun catching all sorts of species. Green spots, GTs, pompanos, stone bream, third fin mullet, all sorts. And one of the key aspects every time was to find little bits of isolated rock. Wherever you found scattered rock, if you let the spoon go down to the bottom, hit bottom, work it back up, you're bound to go on sooner than later. So yeah, it's an absolutely glorious afternoon. We're having so much fun, just waiting for the tide to push in a bit. Some lovely rocks in the foreground here, and this morning Chris got absolutely smoked in this area, so we're hoping to stick around and get a good one. Stay tuned. Man, that was a good one. The hook's pulled right in the shore break. Looked like a GT, 3 or 4 kilos. Oh man. Oh, let's get another one. Sheesh. That's a pity. He actually took drag that one, quite a bit of drag. But that was fun.
Andre and Chris did a very smart thing. The afternoon of the first day during the low, they took quite a walk north. And on their way back, they planted markers, just sticks up on the bank above the high marks. So when we would come back later or the next day, then we'd have markers, you know, to identify those rocky areas, because they are quite isolated. And when the tide is full, there's no way of knowing where those individual rocks are. So they did it was very clever what you guys did there, because all we did the next few days was walk to those markers, fish them, walk to the next one, walk to the next one, so we were in the zone the whole time.
Yeah, so I think in terms of that and areas, you've obviously got 2 different types of areas between the north and the south
Yes,
banks.
awesome.
You're going north, then you do what Andre and I did, and we all ended up doing, which is where you target specific reefs, which is nice, because when there's a whole lot of sand and then a reef, we found there was fish.
Yeah, it's very much like bass fishing, where it's an isolated piece of structure. It's the only thing for literally hundreds of meters.
Yeah.
So the fish tend to congregate around that. So if you find that rock, you're gonna
to get
pretty
something.
much get one or two or
lots
three
of
or
things.
lots
Yeah.
of things, different species, you know. So where the south side,
Yeah.
that is a heck of a lot rockier initially, and then it becomes, you know, sandy for a stretch, and then a little bit of isolated rock, and then a bit of sand. So yeah, the initial first couple of 100 meters south of the mouth, it's very difficult to fish. You're going to walk about 600-700 meters before you get the first break, and the rocks start becoming more isolated, I think.
What?
Oh yeah, baby! What? Yes, please.
How is that?
Thank you very much, guys. Oh my goodness. Never caught a kingy, now I catch 2 in a row.
How is that?
Thank you.
Well, 2 on 1 spoon. Never ever seen that before. Two assist hooks, so a fish on each. That's just amazing.
Lucky me.
Unbelievable.
I've never caught a kingy before, and now I catch 2 on 1 spoon.
I mean, we've been truly blessed. The last 3 days, it's been like this. It's been absolutely gorgeous. Now, this morning I was a bit worried. I thought the westerly buster was on its way, but it kind of faded out. A little bit of cloud pulling in, and it's actually lovely. So, and I mean, the thing about this type of fishing, you need these beautiful days. If there's just the slightest bit of wind, because the spoons are so light and you're making such long casts, you do get a massive bow in your line, and it's difficult to get the spoon to work. We'll go into a little bit
Let's talk about that
some
bad boy.
into some technical stuff here. So for the most part, we're using these blue kicker slow jigging spoons. So it's a keeled spoon. Perhaps some of the old school folks would even call it a V-back. So this is derived from offshore vertical jigging. So Chris will just get that. So the standard assists that come on there are great, but I did swap them out, or most of them out, with these BKK Shore Game Assist aftermarket replacements. So what's different about these is the individual hooks are on separate Kevlar lines, where the blue version, it's actually joined on one. So what this allows me to do is separate the hooks, one on either side, and I felt that gave me slightly better action as compared to when I just left it like that. So a slight modification goes a heck of a long way. Most of the jigs do have an eye at the bottom, so you can add a small little wide gap single on there just to make sure that you connect with them when they're kind of eating it finicky like, you know, which they do. I mean, it's quite a big spoon, and often a little fish has a go at it. And I mean, if you want to convert those, that little hook in the back goes a long way.
Well, it's not that big, but it's my first for the morning. It's another glorious day. The wind picked up just now, the northeaster, making conditions a wee bit tricky, especially if you're fishing light. but we found a real good looking section, lots of sparse rock, and I mean that's what you're looking for. So a whole bunch of good pompano. Let's just get this one back. So a whole bunch of good pompano in the surf and made a cast in a little thingy town. So I'm hoping that's a good sign of it. There are some really big pompano, like really big ones. I'm really hoping to get one.
Lekker! Come on. Hey! Oh. Yeah, you hold on to this one.
What's it called? Huh?
Pompona.
Oh, is that a big pompano? There you go.
Whew. Oh, this is a nice size. Hey, here we go. What's it? A 3-spot? 3-spot pompano. Very nice. Get this one back in the water. Woohoo! There we go. What I can do?
With both fair and square. This is the second one. Damien literally just caught one around about the same size. So there's obviously a few of them up front. They are so much fun to catch, but you have to find the working water. We skipped the section that's quite rocky because you're just going to lose a lot of spoons. And a bit of dead water, and then right in front of us there's a bit of a white patch, and both the fish came out of there. Lovely, let's get it back. Well, they've been trying everything, to be honest. We've caught them on so many different types. Colour doesn't seem to matter as long as you find the working water.
And I think one of the things that I uncovered my first time using them, they're very responsive. So at least you have a much better sense of where your lure is, even in the surf. I almost always knew where my lure was able to let it drop in front of a rock, behind a rock, over a rock, you know, for the most part, without losing too many. And small increments make a big difference.
Yeah.
I think that my favorite was the 40 gram, and I caught a lot of fish with the 32, but that's when you notice the way to approach those rocks, and obviously the depth is always changing. The tide's either pushing or pulling, and you've got to make those small adjustments. 10 grams makes a lot of difference on these spoons and fishing in the shore break. You just got to work out what works best for you, I guess. But I can understand revolutionary. I have never thrown something with as much success off the shore before as these slow pitch jigs. And the action was also important, to get the retrieve speed with a twitch going so that your spoon could jump and burn and twist, and you could feel that. And lift it, fall it, you know. And the bites were not shy.
No, you were under no illusion if it actually gets eaten.
Oh, no.
You did not wonder. And yeah, the GTs especially, there's just something about how they eat it. That afternoon of the first morning, that one that absolutely flattened me. I mean, that was just spectacular. Lost it right on the shore break, and I was a bit upset. But that was on the first day, so I knew I'd probably get another one. And then now on the last morning, you know, same things happened, and on both occasions I did not have the little assist at the back, and that's going to haunt me for quite a while because I was too lazy to put one on there. So last morning, it's pre-dawn. It's important to get out quite early, capitalize on the better conditions. As soon as the wind gets up, it's really difficult to cast the super slow pitch jigging spoons. So we're out at first light, and we're gonna walk for about 1.5 Ks, 2 Ks before we even start fishing a good section of rocks on the northern bank of the river mouth, about halfway between Kosi and Ponta, so Kosi and Ponta. So that's where we headed. So it's quite a bit of a trek, but we'll be there just as the sun comes up. So it's a good time. Let's go.
Dude, it's a lot of fun in the morning.
Okay, I'm on here with something. Oh, it came off. No, it's still on. Still on. Just gotta keep it coming. Just gotta keep it coming. Here it comes. Beautiful. Oh, this is something else. I don't know what this is, but it's something. Whew. Okay. Sounds. Sorry about that, little fella. Well, I got that. Not sure what that is, but that was quite fun. Looks like a pompano type vibes. Not sure. Not sure. Here we go. Ah. Nice.
Man, I'm so bummed now. Second really good fish I've lost. Also, once again, right on the shore break. It was a good and proper one. Made a long cast out and let the spoon sink, and I was looking at Damien, started to wind back and it was tight, thought I was stuck, and gave it a pull and it just screamed off. Oh man, I'm so bummed. Oh.
So the ideal rod and reel for this setup would be 10-11 foot in length, a very moderate rod. You want it to have a very parabolic bend to be able to work that spoon properly. And I found for the most part that a genuine 20-pound braid and 30-pound leader is more than sufficient for most of the fish that you're going to catch. I don't like catering for worst case scenario, because then
We both got hidings.
you get, I mean, it's part and parcel, you know. But if you were to double up on the tackle and throw a rod twice as big,
We
it's
probably
twice
would
the
have
work,
caught half
the fish, and
Yeah.
you'd be double as tired.
I agree.
So the happy medium would be 11 foot, 20 pound, 30 pound leader, and then a 4 or a 5,000 reel. That is semi-saltwater proof. It doesn't have to be, I mean, you didn't really get sand in your gear. I didn't get sand in my gear. We did spend a lot of time about halfway waist deep, but you've got your rod up. So I think it's a very affordable way of fishing.
Yes. I mean, I don't mind throwing these spoons and losing one or two. I really don't.
We
I mean,
lost a
obviously-
bunch, I mean, and I have to thank Pierre and Ridwan from Sensation Angling Supplies. They've shown us much love and they gave us a big sack of spoons.
We didn't lose that many. Let's think about it. We probably made a few thousand casts and maybe we lost 7.
Well, we were four guys.
Yeah.
And this is the last 30, and it's only here because I dug it out the bag this morning. We literally used everything, so it was massively effective, but the damage was done on the south side yesterday afternoon. If you have a look at what it looks like there, then you'll get an idea of why you lose so many spoons. But I mean, you can choose not to throw it in there. You're just not giving yourself the best shot then. You have to take the risk. You have to. If you're not hitting that rock, I feel you're not giving yourself the best chance. So if you do come, don't think 2 or 3 spoons are going to last you the weekend, except if you're fishing it right behind the shore break and targeting pompano only per se, maybe. Then you'd probably find that 3 spoons go a long way. But if you want to get the GTs and all the different species, you really have to kiss the rocks a lot.
The better you kiss the rocks. This morning I saw that straight away. I remember I put on a 40 gram, I think it was our last one, and I said I knew it, and I brought it along the bottom and I hit the rock, got a fish. Hit the rock, got a fish. Hit the rock, missed a fish. And lost that 40, put on a 30 and was unable to replicate. I couldn't hit the rock anymore. Didn't get another fish. I actually did get a small pompano on the way back. So
that is how important it is to stand a chance at getting that one bite that you specifically come here for. Going south, you have to cross the mouth. So you can do that at low tide under normal circumstances for the most part of the year. You just have to find somewhere where it's safe. I mean, look, see if it's deep enough if you can cross. Go in, feel it out. If you're not comfortable, come back. The alternative, there are folks that operate, let's call it the Kosi Bay Estuary ferry services. For a mere 50 rand, they
a
will
very dodgy canoe will wobble you across.
sit still. All right, sit still. But they'll take you there and back. So you don't have to get wet or worry about having to swim all the way across. Requirements, however, would be a good dry bag, definitely, I think, otherwise everything's going to get wet. Decent shoes if you plan on fishing south, especially on the ledges south of the mouth. The usual gloves. You guys didn't bring gloves, and the kingies especially.
It's tough to handle them.
They're nasty. They'll cut you.
Scoots on his tail.
The scoots are bad. So sunscreen, hats, and all the usual to make your day pleasant. Because you are far away from the camp at best at any one time, unless you remain in relative close proximity to the mouth. Then this is a fantastic base. Like Chris said earlier, you've got the kids and you've got the family. There is so much for them to do. You can organize to go on turtle tours during certain times of the week. You can go for boat rides on the lakes, snorkeling right behind us, and the most amazing species.
And I think that's nice if you're a fisherman but you come here for a family vibe, is that you can choose your target times to fish, and then you've got plenty time to actually do family stuff as well, which is not always the case when you want to have a fishing holiday. But here you can actually get both done.
Yeah, hope you get days like this.
The weather's been beautiful to us.
It's been the best.
Yeah, so I think that in closing, this has been epic. I think I asked you about 5 times last night, when are we spinning again?
Yeah.
We landlocked up in Pretoria, so it's not something I get to do a lot. But now that I did it and did it successfully, it's under my skin. It's got its hooks in me, if you can forgive the pun. So I definitely want to pass by the shop and see what options we have going forward. And thanks for bringing me here. It's amazing.
Yeah, after that fish I lost this morning, like I said, I'm already planning to come back again. That's what keeps you coming back, I suppose. It's that one that got away. So it's our last morning. We're on the way out now. We've packed all the gear, just about ready to go, and sad to leave actually.
Very.
Because this has been, I wish we could stay another day. It's been great.
It has. I was thinking on the first, second, third day, every day, we run into these mangrove crabs and puffer fish and lionfish.
Every day is something
Every
different.
day is something. A hermit crab was up here by the house last night, and it's
The funny-faced
nice
monkeys.
and friendly.
I forget their name.
Except for the monkeys. But anyway, don't feed the monkeys.
Don't feed them.
Don't feed them.